Good day, students. Today we will going to learn another math lesson, and that is decimals. But before that, let us identify what is this decimal. In algebra, a decimal can be defined as a number whose whole number part and the fractional part is separated by a point. The dot in a decimal number is called a decimal point. The digits following the decimal point shows a value smaller than 1. So where can we usually see decimals? Okay, that's right. We can see decimals when we go to supermarkets. Okay, the prices of the following things that we want to buy are expressed in decimals. Not only that one, in the department store, we can see also decimals. Aside from that one, we can see decimals in a weighing scale. At the same time, we can see also decimals when we look at our body temperature. Okay, so those are just few things of which we can see decimals in real life situations. Now for today's lesson, we will going to discuss how to add decimals and mix decimals through 10,000s without regrouping. We will going to learn how to add decimals and mix decimals through 10,000s with regrouping. And lastly, we will going to learn how to subtract decimals. Okay, now to start, let us try these word problems. Albert decided to go to San Isidro Church in the nearby town by riding on a motorcycle. He found out that he can travel 0.0437 kilometers in 1 minute. After 10 minutes of driving, he got the total distance of 3.6112 kilometers. What is the total distance traveled by Albert for 11 minutes? In this problem, we know that he can travel in 1 minute 0.0437 kilometer. So as of now, Albert already traveled 3.6112 kilometers. That is already 10 minutes of driving. So for this question, we need to find out what is the distance after 11 minutes of driving. So for this, we have the solution of, we will going to add 3.6112 by 0.0437. Okay, to find out the total distance Albert traveled for 11 minutes. Okay, now this time, let us now answer. By the way, when we add decimals, grade 6, always remember that we need to align our decimal point. This is the first thing that we need to put in our mind. In addition of decimals, decimal point should be properly aligned. After we put our decimal point, that's the time that we're going to add our numbers, just like adding whole numbers. So let's start with 7 plus 2, that is 9. 1 plus 3, of course, that is 4. 4 plus 1, that is 5. And 0 plus 6, that is 6. Now, this time, we need also to put our decimal point aligned. Okay, do not forget to put the decimal point, because if we do not put our decimal point, then our answer will be wrong. Okay, and lastly, add the whole number. 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, so the total distance Albert traveled for 11 minutes is 3.6549 kilometers. Or if we're going to read this one, it is 3 and 6,549 10,000 kilometers. Okay, now let us try to have another word problem here. We have Aling Nora harvested 212.59 kilograms of Indian mango and 146.40 kilograms of rambutan. That is from their farm. How many kilograms of Indian mango and rambutan was harvested in all? To find the total number of fruits that Aling Nora harvested, we're going to add the kilograms of Indian mango and the kilograms of rambutan. Okay, so for this one, notice that decimal points are properly aligned. So after that one, when the decimal point is now aligned, we can now start adding our numbers. 9 plus 0, that is 9. 5 plus 4, that is still 9. And this time, we need to align our decimal point here. 2 plus 6, that is 8. 4 plus 1 or 1 plus 4, that is 5. And 2 plus 1, that is 3. So, Aling Nora harvested 358.99 kilogram of Indian mango and rambutan. Okay, very good, kids. Now, let us recap the things that we have discussed when we add decimals. Number 1, we need to align the decimal point in a straight column. Use 0 as a placeholder if needed. Add just like adding whole numbers. Place a decimal point in our sum and align the decimal point in the sum with the decimal point in our addends. Okay, so this time, let us proceed to our next lesson, and that is adding decimals and mixed decimals through 10,000s with regrouping. Okay, now let's start. Sharon's mother told her to sell banana chips to her classmates. She traveled a distance of 3 and 2,547 10,000 kilometers from her home to school. In the afternoon, she went to the next barangay to sell the remaining banana chips, and she traveled another 1 and 5,569 10,000 kilometers. What is now the total distance Sharon traveled? Okay, so for this one, since we're looking for the total distance that Sharon had traveled, so we're going to add the first kilometers that he traveled from home to school and the next kilometers that he traveled when she go to the next barangay. So for our solution, we have 3.2547 plus 1 and 5,569 10,000s. Let's add. Okay, so notice here that I aligned my decimal point. Okay, so after we align our decimal point, let us now start adding. So 7 plus 9, that is 16. 6 carry 1. By the way, when we say class regrouping, it means that we need to regroup our answer. So like for example here, our answer here is 16. We put 6 and then we regroup the 1 at the top of 4. That is what we mean when we say class regrouping. Okay, so in our previous lesson, that is adding decimals and mixed decimals without regrouping, we just add all the numbers without putting a carry to the next number. This time, because we need to carry or we need to put the 1 here to the next number, that is what we call regrouping. Okay, so let us proceed. 16, 6 carry 1. 1 plus 4, that is 5. 5 plus 4, 5 plus 6, that is 11. So we have here 1 carry 1. So 1 plus 5, that is 6. 6 plus 5, that is 11. Next, carry 1. 1 plus 2, that is 3. 3 plus 5, that is 8. This time, let us align our decimal point here. And 3 plus 1, that is 4. So what is now the total distance Sharon traveled? She traveled 4,8116 10,000 kilometers. Okay, can you walk that far also, grade 6? Okay, can you beat Sharon and walk 4.8 kilometers? Okay, I guess you will. By the way, walking is the cheapest exercise. So from time to time, we need to exercise our body by just walking or keep on walking. Okay, now let us try to have another example here. Clarin wants to sew pretty pillowcases. She has 1.28 meters of pink cloth, 1.56 meters of green cloth, and 0.459 meters of yellow cloth. Taken together, how many meters of cloth does Charin have? So, because we're looking for how many meters in all, so this time we need to add. Okay, add those 3 meters or 3 measurement that Karen have. So the first measurement is we have 1.28 meters of pink cloth. The next one is we have 1.56 meters of green cloth. And lastly, Clarin has 0.459 meters of yellow cloth. Okay, and then let's find the total. So as what we can see here, okay, all the decimal points are properly aligned. This one is correct. But the problem is we have here a lacking number, or we don't have any numbers here for, okay, in line with number 9. Okay, if we have a lacking number, do not panic. Why? Because all we have to do is just to put 0. Okay, so we're going to put 0 here, put 0 also here to make this one, okay, to give a value for the remaining or for the lacking number. Okay, so this time let's add 0 plus 0 plus 9, that is still 9. 8 plus 6, this one is 14. 14 plus 5, this one is 19. So carry 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. And 8 plus 4, this one is 12. Carry 1 at the top of 1, and then this time align our decimal point, put the decimal point, and then 1 plus 1 plus 1, this one is 3. Okay, so the total meters of cloth Clarin have is 3.299 thousandths, or 3.299 meters of cloth. Okay, so that's it. That's how we add our decimals. This time, let us continue with subtraction of decimals. Actually, subtraction of decimals is just the same in adding decimals. The rule for this one is the same, wherein we need to align our decimal point before we do the operation. Of course, since this one is subtraction, so therefore we need to take. Okay, we need to subtract. Okay, so let us start with number 1 here. Okay, let's check our decimal point if it is properly aligned. Check. After this one, since this one is properly aligned, the decimal point is already aligned, then we could now continue subtracting. 3 minus 0, this one is still 3. 7 minus 4, this is still 3. 9 minus 5, this is 4. Place the decimal point, and 0 minus 0 is 0. So for our answer, we have 433 thousandths. Okay, now let's proceed to number 2. Decimal point is properly aligned, correct? Then we could now start subtracting. So 9 minus 0, it's still 9. 8 minus 7, it's 1. And 2 and 4 minus 2, this one is 2. Align the decimal point and add 0 here. So for our answer in number 2, we have 219,000. This time, let us try to answer the following. Number 1, what is the number added to 0.756 that gives us a whole number 1? And to answer this problem, let us, first that we're going to do is we're going to subtract 1 to 0.756. Okay, so we have here whole number 1. Always remember that the whole number, the decimal point of the whole number is always on its right side. Okay, and then let us put now 0.756. Notice that I put 3 zeros here because we have a lacking number at the top of 6, 5, and 7. Okay, since we are subtracting, we really need to affix 0 or put 0 on the top. Okay, now since the decimal point is now aligned, then we could now continue subtracting. So we cannot subtract 0 to 6, therefore we need to borrow to 0, borrow to 0, borrow to 1. 1 will become 0, 0 here will become 9, 0 here will become 9, and the last 0 will become 10. Now let us subtract 10 minus 6, this one is 4, 9 minus 5, this one is 4, and 9 minus 7, this is 2. Align the decimal point, and 0 minus 0, this one is 0. Okay, so we already have the answer. The number that we're going to add to 0.756 to give us a whole number 1 is 0.244. But of course, we need to check our answer. Okay, so let's add our answer to 0.756 to give us 1 or a whole number 1. And our answer, let's add 6 plus 4, this one is 10, carry 1, 1 plus 5 plus 4, it's 10, 8 plus 2, 10, carry 1, align the decimal point, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So we got our answer. So we have here a whole number 1. So the number that we're going to add to 0.756 is 0.244. And for numbers 2, 3, and 4, I want you to answer this one, grade 6. Put your answer in the comment section below. Okay, I know you can answer this one from the things that you've learned in our lesson. In addition and subtraction of decimals, I know you can answer the number 2, 3, and 4. So that's it. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope that you've learned something for this day, grade 6. And I really hope to see you again. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.